Hello everyone. Today I am here to talk about Taylor Jenkins' newest book, Carrie Soto is Back. I was so lucky to get an e-arc of this in July, and I have a lot to talk about. If you don't know, Taylor Jenkins Reid is one of my favorite authors. I've done a whole video on all of her books, like telling you which ones are my favorite and things like that, and I've given every one of her books a 5-star, but her latest release, Malibu Rising, which came out last year, I didn't love it as much, but I did enjoy it. But I was apprehensive about Carrie Soto's Back because Carrie Soto was in very briefly in her last book, Malibu Rising, and I didn't really love her. She was definitely a firecracker. I wasn't sure. So when I heard that she was going to get her own book, I was like, I'm hopeful, but I'm apprehensive. But I have to say, Taylor Jenkins Reid knocked it out of the park. It should not have been a surprise. So let's talk about Carrie Soto. This is not going to be spoilery at all because I don't think you really need to be spoilers, but I just want to share with you my thoughts on it because I know a lot of people are anticipating this book with good reason because she is a huge author with a huge following. This book comes out in August. I forget exactly what day in August, but I'll put it right here, but I'm going to tell you all you need to know and what my thoughts and feelings are about it. So this book obviously follows Carrie Soto. We learn at the beginning of the book that Carrie Soto has been in love with tennis ever since she was a little girl because her father was in tennis. He came from Mexico. He was kind of somewhat semi-professional, if you will, and basically he fell in love with Carrie's mom. They had Carrie, and unfortunately Carrie's mom passed away when Carrie was at a young age through a car accident, and so he's been raising Carrie alone, and he's always like told her since she was born that she's going to be the best of the best tennis player the world has ever seen, and so she does just that. She trains like nobody's business as soon as she can when she's a kid, and so it follows her with training every day with her dad because her dad is her coach, and her starting to get professional at tennis when she's at a young age, and then she really does go on to be the best of the best when she's like in the 80s and 90s because that's when this book takes place, by the way. She wins like so many opens like the US Open, Wimbledon, Australia Open, the French Open, other things. I don't know much about tennis. She becomes like the #1 women's tennis player, and she also becomes the #1 hated tennis player because she is so focused, she's so calculated, she doesn't talk to anybody, that the media often refers to her as the battle axe, and she's like whatever, you know. They often refer her also as the B word, okay? I don't want to say that, but they do because she's so focused on tennis and doesn't have time for anybody else. She does not care about her opponent. She doesn't care about having a love life. She just wants to be the best of the best. And so that's where the book kind of starts. You kind of get her progression of how she came to be the best of the best. And then, like most athletes, when she gets into her early 30s, her bones are working as they used to. She kind of hurts her knee, which kind of forces her into retirement because if you're a professional athlete, a lot of professional athletes have to retire early because they put so much strain on their body from being a professional athlete, you know, with football, baseball, tennis, soccer, you know, they are training every day, all day. That's what they do. Olympic athletes, you know what I'm saying? So she had to retire when she was in her early 30s, but she retired going out like a boss, being the best of the best female tennis player. Then it picks up when she's 37 and she's like, you know, at a tennis match with her dad, like at a US Open or something, and this other girl is going to take away her title. She's going to be the best of the best, and Carrie Soto's like, crap, I gotta come out of retirement to defend my titles. And so she asked her dad, hey, will you coach me again so we can be the best of the best? And so that kind of goes. So this book follows like, it's like kind of two timelines, if you will. One where her goes back into her past of how she trains and how she got to be the best of the best, and to now where she's trying to defend all of her titles. And obviously her body is a lot different because she's older and she's not as spry as the younger players. And that's not what the whole book is about, but it's mainly at the heart of it about Carrie's kind of relationships, one particularly with her dad, who she's very close to, and how he kind of tells her that, you know, you can't be the best of the best all the time. At some point, you're just going to have to accept with being who you are and be happy with it. But she's been, you know, raised to be like, you've told me I'm the best of the best, and that's what I'm going to be, and how dare you think I'm anything less. So Carrie's whole persona is she's so strong-willed and so determined that yes, it's a good thing, but it's also holding her back in her own personal life because she is so solely focused on tennis and so solely focused on winning that she can't see anything past that, which is why she doesn't have really any friends. She doesn't have any like relationships. Her even relationship with her dad gets strained at a lot of points, but she, in this whole book, you kind of see her overcome that, but not overcome it, just come to grips with who she is as a person and who she is outside of tennis, because tennis is all she knows. She lives it, she breathes it. It's all she is, and she's learning as she's getting older that maybe there's more to it. There's also a love interest in this book, Bo, who she kind of had not really a relationship, more like a one-night stand with a long time ago. He's kind of a player. He's also coming out of retirement just, to see if he could still do it. And so they start training together again. And of course, feelings start coming to light. And I really did enjoy that relationship aspect. It wasn't a huge part of the book, but man, that guy had my heart from the beginning. He learned Spanish for her. He was so kind. He waited for her, but he also challenged her when she needed it, because Carrie's a bit of a pill to swallow. Like, I don't think Carrie and I would get along. She's a little bit too intense for my personality, but I respected her. I respected how she stood up to the media, how she was like, you know what, I'm the best and you need to respect me, because if I was a man, you wouldn't be saying this junk to me. And I was like, yes. But at the same time, I was like, she's got to learn that there's more to life than this. So overall, 5 out of 5. I loved it. I loved the progression, how it was about tennis. It was about Carrie and her relationship with her father, who was just, it was so amazing to read about the relationship and how much love they have for each other and how they have been there for each other since Carrie's mom had died. And it was such a beautiful thing. So I loved it. I loved Carrie Soto. I'm so excited that I was actually able to get an e-arc and read it and love it and devour it. I can't wait to see other people read it, and I hope they'll love it as much as I do, because I just had such a fun time with this book. It made me so interesting. I will say my one qualm with it is there was a little bit when she did tennis matches, because each chapter is like Soto versus Chan or something like that, US Open, and Taylor Jenkins Reid would really go into detail about like snapping the ball, it went out of bounds, and I was like, oh, I don't know, I can't picture this. I don't want to say I don't care, but I'm just like, it was a little too much descriptive for me, if you will. But that was the only qualm I have. Other than that, I loved everything else about it. So there you have my thoughts and feelings on Carrie Soto is Back. I feel like I haven't done a single book review video in a while, but I'm happy that it's Taylor Jenkins Reid, that's for sure. I would love to know your thoughts and feelings on this book. Did you love it as much as I did? Are you excited for it? Are you gonna read it? Are you not gonna read it? I would love to know, so please let me know in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.